Okay, let me let them know on the other end that we're live. Okay, guys, we're about 4 minutes, 15 seconds out till we start. Just waiting for people to join the live. Thank you for those who are already tuning in. I see there's already someone watching. Uh, yeah, leave a comment. Let us know who you are, where you're watching from. I have to tell you, Nqobile, earlier in
Yes.
the group, so the beginner group. So the way our program works is that we curate the workouts on WhatsApp now, and the
Hmm.
groups are separated based on their fitness level. So earlier in the beginner group, we were talking about this particular podcast and basically going meat free. Corner, corner
Yeah.
banga believe ukuthi kuyakhoneka ukuthi ube meat free. They don't believe. Like they find it difficult to even fathom going
Think
meat
about
free. So some are going
it.
yeah, so some are going to be here looking to learn and understand from you on a deeper level, really, how they can incorporate going meat free potentially. So I've spoken
Mm.
to them about balance, and especially for those avid meat lovers, they could look at making sure that maybe they have 1 or 2 days a week where they go meat free.
Yeah.
They don't have to go
Yeah.
completely cold turkey.
So
I don't.
Tabo,
Yeah, not cold turkey.
Yeah, look.
I I've actually tried meat free before, and it was
Mm.
amazing. Like, I think for
It's
three
so good.
months, yeah, 3 months I was not eating meat. I felt great. And okay, so I thought no, it's getting closer to 50 once, just once, and then I continue with my meat free, and then it was hard. And last month, like May, I was like, okay, let me try this meat thing, like meat free thing again. It was so hard this time. Like I just couldn't do it. I ended up eating meat again. So I don't know, like I know there are times where you're like, I'm doing this thing and it's so easy to do. And then there are times
Mm.
when you're like, I'm doing it and last time it was easy, but this time is like very complicated. But one thing for sure, I know that it's possible to go meat free. And once you're there, it's such a beautiful experience. Like people don't get it how amazing it is to not eat meat.
Yeah. Okay, guys, we're
Yeah.
one
I
minute
always say to
20
people.
seconds out. Sorry, guys. We're 1 minute 20 seconds out. For those tuning in, leave a comment. Let us know where you're watching from. Let us know whether you would go completely meat free or not a chance. Let us know. Are you willing to go completely meat free or never will you go meat free? 57 seconds to go. Sorry, Nqobile, you were still saying. I'm listening.
I was saying, like I always say to people, like, don't be too hard on yourself. If you're trying to do the meat-free things and you crave meat, like it's a normal thing. So you shouldn't feel guilty. So if you want a piece of steak, then have a piece of steak. Like if you want a lamb curry, then eat a lamb curry, you know. So that's how like I feel like you first ease into something like you make it okay that you crave meat, and then
Yeah.
next time you carry on with your with having a lot more veggies than a lot more meat.
Okay. I see. Balance. Balance.
Yeah.
All right. We're 10 seconds out, guys. What's up, family? Welcome back to the Fitfriends Podcast. Kenna Tabo Mashaba. Today I'm chilling with Brown Girl Health, Nqobile, and Kilebohile. Nqobile is an Instagram influencer, right? She shares her journey on nutrition. We'll get to hear more about that when she introduces herself. And then Kilebohile is one of the participants from the 21-day challenge. So she's here today to share with us about some of her struggles when it comes to nutrition and diet, and hopefully we can both learn from Unqobile as she shares her plant-based eating. But let's head over to the comments. I see a lot of people have already commented to let us know where they're tuning in from, and this is Sombu. Sombu says she's chilling ko Leslie. Hi hi, Kisombu ko Leslie. And then
Hi,
Sombu's responding
Sombu.
actually to the question
Hi,
whether
Sambu.
they'd go meat free, and she's like she's willing to try 21 days meat free.
Hmm,
So
nice.
hopefully next month we see her executing that. Then Kyo
Yeah.
Kanye Steele from Soweto, she's also tuning in. Thank you for tuning
Hello,
in, Kanye.
Kanye.
Hi,
Kyo
Kanye.
Hopoto
Oh,
from
it's
Bloom is
actually
also
looks like
tuning in.
there's a lot of people here. Nice. Hi,
Yeah, and then
Hoputo.
Busa's also tuning in all the way from Gaborone, Kobotswana.
Nice.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Kyo Hopoto Are. In 2020, I tried plant-based diets for 5 days, a week for
Yeah.
about 3 weeks, and it really made a big difference.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay, cool. Before we get into, some of the comments and really giving our feedback on what we think, I want to first get the guests to introduce themselves and let us know who they are, where they're from. I want to start with Nqobile Vele. Nqobile, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, Nqobile. Thank you for joining us tonight. I really
Thank you for
appreciate you giving us
inviting
some
me.
time so we can have a chat. So, yeah, let us know gore ke mang Nqobile and Nqobile o tswa kae?
I'm Nqobile Mtshali, the creator and owner of Brown Girl Health, a Instagram page that has is based on plant-based eating recipes, very simple plant-based eating recipes, and health tips and booklets on like why eating healthy is nutritional is like good for you. Yeah,
Okay, that's dope. I've got some more questions for you, but let's first get Lebo to introduce herself. Hey Lebo, okay.
Hi, Tabo. And hi everybody who's on the stream. So my name is Kilebuhile, but I usually say people must call me Lebo, because when I say Kilebuhile, then they say Kilebuhile, which are two different things. Anyway, I'm a UN employee and I'm part of the 21-day training. I just joined for the first time. And I really am hoping to come out with good results. And I'm very much aware that I have to put in the work. So yeah, we put in the work together and hopefully it pays off. So that's it about me.
Okay. Yeah, Mobil. Let's dive right into it now. I
okay.
firstly want to hear from you. Let's take it way back to when you actually decided that you're gonna go on this meat-free journey. What inspired that?
Okay, I had two things that actually inspired it. Because I went plant-based when I was doing my honors in university. And I was staying in a place called Postgrad Village. So it's like you have your own like studio apartments, like open plan. So you cook for yourself. So I'd come from Res where they cooked every single meal for me to cook for myself. And my mom was giving me the exact money to buy groceries. And I was like, first of all, I was like, if I eat like plant based, it's obviously going to be cheaper. Then I have some money left over to party with and, have those small little treats. And also went plant-based because I had read up that um, a lot of processed foods, a lot of foods that we cook and eat can add to like symptoms like anxiety, like really sad moods. And what you eat, what you put in your body is how essentially you feel and how you look. So that's another reason, because I wanted to be able to concentrate on my studies while not having to deal with and like anxiety, because I had anxiety. So I wanted to clean out my system and see if it
Mm.
worked for my to calm down, which it did. Like I was like the most disciplined person when I wasn't honest, because I was eating plant like very clean. Like I cut out sugar. First I cut out everything that was white, which is like white bread, white potatoes, white pasta, and then I cut out sugar, which was very hard because I'm a sugar fiend. That's the step I started with, and then I started then adding a lot more veg to my diet um, to cut out everything processed, so that I could be in the best physical and mental mindset to get through the year.
I see. I see. And I like that you touch on anxiety and how the food we eat actually plays a role in that. I don't know if you know about this, that when they slaughter or well, mass slaughter animals, the animals are obviously in an anxious state,
Mm.
and that energy gets what they'd say coded
Transmuted.
into the meat. Yes, it's transmuted
Yeah,
into the
yeah.
meat that
It's
we eat.
transmuted into the
Hence,
meat.
hence the anxiety that you're speaking about right now, right?
Mm, mm,
So I want to hear from you more on that. How did you find out about the fact that actually, meat and the meat production industry
mm,
might be feeding
mm.
us food that actually gives us anxiety?
I probably think I was mostly in my third year, just like Googling around. And I was in that year starting to go back to gym and like to physical exercise. So when I like do something, I want to research it properly. So I want to know what could get me to that best state. So when I started going back to gym, I wanted to say, okay, like I'm changing my diet because especially like I said, I'm a sugar fiend. The one thing I had to cut out was sugar. So as I read and like read articles, then I learned that sugars like processed sugars, eating a lot of meats, processed like meats, like will add to those hormones that create that state of what flight or fright it's called. So if
Hmm.
you cut out if you cut out when I like for me, cut out sugar and maybe like limited my intake of processed food like meat and then intake more of water, then there will be a difference. And I did really see a difference. So that's the one thing why I carried on with it because I saw like a very big difference.
Okay, I see. Let's bring Lebo in and hear a bit from her. She was saying earlier that she has tried a meat-free diet. Now, Lebo,
I have.
yeah, and what was your experience like?
Okay, so a little bit of a background from that. I was doing a 21 fasting from church, and it was great. Like, there's always a thing when I'm fasting, it's like you're always energetic, so focused, you know? And then and I decided, okay, let me just carry on with this thing, and I don't have to buy meat at the moment. And I did. So 3 months straight, I was not eating meat at all. I was not eating starch. I was eating fruits basically. And the nice thing about that period is like you don't even think about food. Basically, it's like your system gets used to being full, like on its own. I don't know where it feeds from, but you get full from not eating. And and yes, it was such a beautiful experience in terms of the energy I had, the focus I had. I was doing my my or submitting my master's thesis at that time. So all the energy I needed I basically had, and I was able to, be focused on this one thing that I needed to be done. And it was beautiful. But we have bad habits, when I was done submitting, it's like, oh, I need to go celebrate. And I went for one time partying, and I ate my ribs, and yeah, just never stopped. And now when I'm trying to do it again, it's so hard. It's really hard. I think for me, it was so easy to get to the point of not eating meat because I was doing a religious practice at that particular time, and I had to be disciplined. And then after that, then I was like, oh no, I can just continue this because my system was used to it. But now when I'm trying to do it without anything, like without any reason, or maybe, okay, let me just put it like without the religious purpose, it's so hard because then I can
Mm.
cheat. Yeah.
I see. I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, I want you to. I'm referring to Nqobile now. Now, I'd like you
Okay.
to, because a lot of people struggle with finding the balance, right? In terms of, I
Mm.
want to go meat free, but I obviously keep lapsing, you name it. All these things keep happening. So, like, what's some of the advice you would give as someone who's, and I'm sure it wasn't easy to have, gone through the entire journey of letting go of meat. Yeah, tell us a bit about
Yeah.
that. Maybe sharing your journey with the transition can help someone who might also look towards, maybe I should explore plant based.
I mean, like you said, like balance. It's. I mean, nothing in life is like goes in a rigid way, like in a straight line. So
Mm-hmm.
you shouldn't like if you want to find balance, it's allowing yourself to crave whatever you're craving. I mean, obviously, it has to be also good for you and not harm you in any sort of way. But like if like I always say to people, going cold turkey is always very hard on anything because I could
Mm-hmm.
not go cold turkey on sugar. I had to ease my way in. So you can always ease your way in by maybe having a meatless Monday, you know, cooking one day a week, start with one day a week, then you do it 2 days a week. And maybe like in between those weeks where you're eating meat, have a lot more vegetables on your plate than that piece of meat, you know?
Okay.
So like like as long as you are doing more of the healthy than the bad, you'll be fine. And like normal people, we crave stuff. If you've been eating meat, it's going to be very hard not for you to crave it.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay, I see. And now most people banally this perception that going meat free and eating plant based is boring. So I've seen your Instagram and some of the stuff looks really good. Yeah, tell us a bit about like how does one make uh, going plant based interesting in terms of the food they eat.
I what I did was look around me as to what is it that we always purchase at home when I go into the grocery store, what vegetables are there, and then I mean a lot of our like I think African cooking is I think very plant based also because you'll have meals where you can eat with just no meat like ikabish no or
Mm.
ubhontshisi nojeqe, you know, imfino and uphuthu, like those are the things. So with me, the recipes are very, very simple. You can find all the ingredients in your local store and make something that's completely meat free.
I see. So basically you understand that we already eat well. I like that. I want
Yeah,
uh in this is how people in the rural areas still eat as opposed to us who have now become
exactly.
more
Yeah.
westernized in the city.
The
But
burps.
hey, but go high. But go high by Jamiro, wa bona? Baja mirojo, and like
Yeah.
they're rock solid. They're rock solid and they live for long periods of time. So
Yeah.
yeah, like I like that. I like that. Let's unpack a bit more on that. Anyone looking to eat healthy, let's debunk the myth that eating healthy is boring and eating healthy is expensive. Please debunk this myth for them, Nqobile. Just tell them eating healthy is not as expensive as people make it out to be.
Okay. I can understand first of all why people think eating healthy is expensive because that is what that's the only thing we're shown. Like, when I the reason why I actually started Brown Health is because when I started the meats, the plant based, eating more plant based, I'd go on Instagram, and I would find like every Instagram page is talking about grains that are not even sourced in South Africa. That if you walk into your normal Checkers or your normal ShopRite, you're not gonna find quinoa everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I was like, okay, this is too expensive for me, but there has to be a way that I can still eat healthy. Um, so that's when I had to go back and think about it and also read to say, what are simple things that I can make? Like, and simple things that I could make was ushatin and like rice and butternut on the side and maybe spinach. That's a full
Hmm.
meal already. So people, I think, I mean, I don't blame it because that's all you're sold. That's all you're sold is like eating healthy. Like you have to buy, um, you know, like really organic. You have to buy organic, which organic is really expensive. If you're gonna go to a fully like a little store that sells organic thingy, organic food, it's going to be expensive, like no lie. So not everybody can afford organic, and it seems to look like that only certain type of people can afford to live healthy, and that's what it was sold for. But people can eat healthy. We just need to look under that surface, which is like food around you, food that when you go to Checkers you can grab and you can cook. Um,
Okay,
yeah.
let's make it more practical for people. Let's give some examples of some of your staples that are in your current diet.
My staples. I'm a pasta fan, so it's pasta, rice, oats, uh, bread. Then I have frozen veggies, and then sometimes I'll buy, especially bananas. I'll buy bananas, then cut them up and freeze them to make smoothies with. Um, Cheese, eggs, tomatoes, onions. Like those are the like normal staples.
Okay, I see.
Sorry, Tabo,
So
I have
any
a question.
Mm.
yeah, shoot.
Um, so it sounds like the things that you've mentioned, they sound like one has to have the energy to prepare or the time to prepare. Is there some sort of an advice you could give for a person who doesn't have time to prepare meals?
Mm.
Like, for instance, me, I was telling Tabo how I call them unhealthy habits. Like during the day, I'd be working, so I don't make food. I would
Mm.
probably just like have a licorice or like a very stupid snack, you know. And then later at night, I'm hungry and it's late. I haven't cooked, so I do Uber Eats, and that's how I usually eat unhealthy, you know.
Mm.
So what do you say to someone who's like me, who I feel like I just don't have the time to be standing on the stove and preparing meals? Yes, I try some days when I'm like, oh, today I have the energy and I'll be steaming my vegetables and eating,
Yeah.
good food. But most of the time, I don't do that. So I would rather buy. I was also telling Tabu, like, instead of buying Woolworths chicken, because I'm only gonna eat it, the thigh and the drum and the wing, then the the breast area, I don't like it, so it spoils. So I'd rather buy Nando's chicken, and then they cut
Mm.
it for me, and then so much easy for me to eat. And simply because I don't have time, or maybe I'm just lazy to cook, you know?
Yeah.
So, how do I eat healthy when situations are like this?
Hmm.
I wish I can say meal prep because I'm not really good at prepping meals either, and I don't like eating the same thing for 5 days. But what I do, like the meals that I have on the page, I think they're very quick. Like they're very quick meals because just like you, I do not like slaving over a stove. So most of the meals either take you 30 minutes or 20 minutes to make. Like an example, I think you've seen the viral pasta, that the feta cheese pasta, where you just boil pasta, you put 2 blocks of feta, get some roasted tomatoes, roast everything. Once you roast for 20 minutes, add your cooked pasta, toss it, and then you're done. That's it. Or another meal that I really like doing is either mushrooms, like mushroom stroganoff or mushroom sauce with pasta, or mushroom stroganoff with rice. And that, to me, that's a meal. So that's what I can say. Like, try to find really quick meals that you can make, which is what I've done with Brown Girl, because I understand when you say you don't have time and slaving over a stove is it's not a fun thing. So I completely understand.
Yeah, I like that. I
Okay.
like that piece of advice. Quick
Mm.
meals that you can make. Yeah, personally, those are the type of meals I like to meal prep. Meal prep is boring.
It
Eating the
is.
same thing for 5 days.
It's boring.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, and nothing beats the taste of freshly cooked food.
Yeah.
So yeah, I completely get where you're coming from. But yeah, Lebo, I hope the advice that she's sharing with you right now is something you might consider. Now it's about doing the research on
Mm-hmm.
on the meal ideas, right? She's giving you some that are meat free, so you can go to her page and check out her page, and then maybe you can pull from there. I know,
Mm-hmm.
Nqobile, I know you share cards as well, right? Is
Yeah,
it
share
recipe
cards.
card?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes,
Uh,
recipe
we'll,
cards.
we'll, we'll get to that in a bit. I just want to head over to the comments a bit because there's some comments here. Um, Buso's asking, what is the specific intended benefit of stopping meat? Meat is known to contain good proteins needed for the body. Again, do you stop all meats or certain meats, e.g., red meat? I don't know if I can
Now
leave this
I would
question
say
to you. Yes,
I was
keep
also
going.
thought that. So I don't know if I say that the benefits of maybe stopping, I would say more red meat, is because I get, yes, meat does have good nutritional sources, but I mean, we're not meant to be consuming meat every day. I think it's the amount that's the issue, that's causing to say maybe lessen the meat a little bit, because meat is so readily available to us now than it was before. So people are consuming meat every day, which is not good, because meat will sit in your stomach and take a while releasing, and some of it actually has no nutritional source and is doing more harm in your body than making it better. And stopping red meat does cause issues because of just how it just doesn't digest really fast, and it causes things like gout, inflammation. So I would say eat more veggies than meat. Is always
Manje,
a benefit to the body.
manje angitshele Nqobile ngoba ngiyazi phela the Zulu nation. I'm assuming now
Eats
that you
meat.
are Zulu.
Yes.
She is
You know,
definitely Zulu.
eh, manje uthini mabasithi lalela la nayi inyama sidla inyama nayi inyama wena uthini?
Thankfully, I've been in controlled spaces because, like, masuya emcimbini. Obviously, I eat the vegetarian section kumcimbi. Like, that's all meats. Like,
Mm.
you know. So if sometimes, hopefully, they do have like curry and rice, which they have cream spinach and butternut. So then you get it dombolo, and I can sometimes make it out of it. But in some situations, like if I am hungry, I will eat what is offered to me because no one's catering to
Mm,
me.
Yeah. That,
yeah.
I'm not in control of that space, but I'm also not about to starve. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it all goes back to balance, balance.
Yeah,
Simply, it's a one-time occasion. It's joyous. We're on. Why
yeah.
not? And then during the week, you'll be back again on the meat-free stuff.
Although I hear
Yeah,
what you guys are saying. Like I said, the previous month, now in May, I was trying to do the no meat. And first week, my friend, we were doing her breakfast farewell, and there was just meat. It was my first week of the no meat, and I was like, it's just for today. And then I had the meat, and then there were leftovers, and we are like, okay, no, guys, just no, we need to clear up. And the following day, after I had the meat again, and then it was another struggle for me to complete that week. Then another weekend there was another mcimbi, so like i was I literally found myself in situations where I always had to eat the
Mm,
meat, and I ended up just saying, you know what, the May no meat is not working, so I'll try again next month. So for me, and guys, I'm eating meat. I'm just giving the advice. Like, I would say to someone who wants to start, like, as much as you might find yourself in situations where you you can't starve yourself and you do not have any option but to eat the meat, like, try to regulate yourself in a sense
mm,
that don't be like me. Don't go every weekend you're going to these Mcimbi situations and then you find yourself stranded and having to eat meat because you have a goal, and the best way to achieve that goal is to basically train your mind.
mm.
Like, you literally have to train your mind and tell your mind that we can't eat meat. It's tough, but it has to happen. And I need that advice for myself, of course. So, yeah, that's me there.
I see. No, that's good advice. That's good advice. Don't put yourself in positions where you will be forced to take the meat. I don't know if you've seen that. There's a video, well, on Instagram. This video basically, basically, this lady, it's like a TikTok video. This lady is like a fitness influencer. She then slips. As she slips, Oreos fall into her mouth. How she then the caption is,
Oh,
how I accidentally messed up my diet or something like that.
Oh,
actually, I've seen that video.
I think
You've
I've
seen
seen a
it,
few people do that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, this is what Lebo is saying. Avoid that. Avoid putting yourself in so that you slip and fall, then the meat falls into your mouth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Kyo Puleng. Puleng is asking, how do you keep the discipline when you're living with people who want to have meat in every
Hmm.
meal? Do you cook meat free for you while the rest cook meat? Nqobile?
Yeah, I live that life because when I came back home, again, it's a very uncontrollable situation because your family is not vegetarian. But I think wow, I didn't. How did I do it? Like I think first I eased them into it. Um, but I do this thing where I will cook separate meals. Like so maybe the gravy like ushatini will be just like ushatini without any meat, and then cook vos on the side for them. Or I'll do like a macaroni and cheese bake, and then I'll do like maybe ribs on the side for them. But it's like you have to find ways to like around it. Sometimes you are gonna have to cook a separate meal, unfortunately, because it like I can that's a real struggle, and it took me a while to get my family sort of like in the right direction to get to the way I cook, because they're a curry loving family, like most Zulu people. So I had to cook meals that also catered to me and catered to them, which is it is an extra job, but like it is very possible.
I see. Hope you answered, Buleng. Uh, yeah, tell us how you currently deal with it, or is this something that you're exploring, looking to go meat free, and then obviously find a way to balance it out because the rest of the household is looking for meat. Yeah, let us know if you're this is something you're struggling with or you're planning to go into. Yeah, Spongile says thanks, coach. Balance. Yeah, balance is very important, guys. You know, I
Yeah.
like that. This is what we're not coming here and basically pressing people into a corner, making
Berating.
them feel bad because now they are not eating healthy and they are no, we're human.
Yeah,
I get
man. Like it's like
eh,
yeah, we're all
Roberto,
humans. Like we
eh.
can't be hard on
So
ourselves.
balance it
Like
out.
life is already hard.
No, dude,
Yeah.
exactly. Exactly. Life is already hard and this is why I personally I find that training for me is about it's more about that the mental side as opposed to the physicality for one because
Mm,
it helps me sharpen my mind and my emotional balance when I'm going through things or yeah, the struggles of life up and down. So being able to find that balance for me is very important through fitness. So yeah, guys, I hope that's what you're taking away from our conversation tonight. That as much as you aspire to eat healthy, it doesn't mean two celery sticks and
a day.
I don't know what. You know what I'm saying?
An
People
unhealthy
will be like,
diet.
"Yeah, that's an unhealthy diet." You can be on a plant-based diet and be unhealthy. You can be
Yes,
vegan
you
and be
can.
unhealthy, mind you,
It's very
right?
possible.
Yeah, mind you. I want to go to this question. Uh, do plant-based diets also are also used across blood type diets?
Used.
Right. Okay, this is very
That's a
interesting
beautiful question.
because the the blood type.
That's yeah.
Some people it's said that meat eating is based off your blood type, right? And I understand that because blood type is bloodline, and bloodline is unique, right? Meaning within my family bloodline, we might have to execute certain things and consume certain foods or not consume certain foods. We see this within our culture. Okay. Some people under certain surnames, abayedli imvu, for example, right? So yes, this does play a role. It's very important to know your blood type. Obviously, now, unfortunately, this thing or this knowledge, we only have it from a Western perspective, which for me, I find is
Yeah.
limiting because we need to understand it on a deeper level, being within my bloodline. Why do we operate like this? And why does it work for us?
Mm.
Because you know, Bontatemhulo le Bonkgono have had millennia understanding our bloodline. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Noma Swazi, align align your diet with your blood type, or rather bloodline. Let me put it like that, right? Bloodline, because even blood type is classifying it. It's boxing it down to say I'm O positive. I can be O positive. You can also be O positive, but we're from different bloodlines, and essence making us different. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So yeah, Western medicine likes to box us into a set paradigm, or if they can't understand it enough, bring it into at least like some sort of body of work that sort of makes them
Of
understand what
family.
we're about. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that actually is that's what you just mentioned now is like the African grain series that I'm doing, the superfoods. I call them superfoods because like how you
Yebo.
say Western like society wants to box us in. But like no one I don't think I wasn't aware that Africa like sports so many like ancient grains that can survive better than these popular grains that we eat, like that can survive better than rice in very harsh, dry, like environments. And the only reason why they haven't been like explored more or talked about more is because of the language that has been used around them, like people calling them animal feed, feed for when there's like a drought,
Mm.
poor people food. And it's also people, there hasn't been like, like the boxing part is like, they say they haven't been explored because also they don't know how they grow. Like how they grow is not really measured. So it's not to say how much of it there is because there's no measurement because these grains have been so ignored and what has been they've been pushed aside to introduce all these European grains, which is maize and rice. Rice and maize is pretty new to Africa because before that we were eating, millets, teff, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like
Yeah, yeah.
it's like bringing back to the point that you said that like Western culture likes to box us in, and we don't even know about our own food that has grown and is still growing around
True.
us.
I
Let
actually
let
like what Tabo said when you said we need to look in our bloodline. There's something I never actually thought about it until now when you're
Mm,
saying it. Like you grow up and you are told you're not supposed to eat this because you are this, and because it does not make
sense.
what scientific sense. So you're just like, no, I'm gonna go and eat it, you know. But now that you said it, Tabo, like it just made me think a little. Like we have our ancestors or our elders who've lived for so long and accumulated knowledge about ourselves and how we operate, and maybe they don't have better ways of saying, actually, when you eat this, this happens to you,
Mm,
you know. They'll just tell you you'll die, or just a quick thing, and we end up just neglecting the entire thing,
yeah,
because it's just not scientific proven. Kanti, it is actually scientific proven, but maybe the knowledge was not transferred nicely to say, actually, this is what happens when this happens. You know,
yeah. You know where they have us actually. Separating spirituality, African spirituality from science, is where they have us because we are lacking the understanding that healers, mediums, all these people are practicing science using natural elements. You understand what I mean? So, Gedla, who's a herbal person, hatla atlo kopantsha pizza ya hore a o alafe from a particular ailment, right? It's science because he is connected in the esoteric realm. So it's not theoretical knowledge. It's tuning into a frequency just like you'll go into 99.2 on radio to listen to YFM, right? He tunes in to his higher self, which are the ancestors who are guiding him. So this it's a science. The more we connect and understand that it's a science, but our science is more intertwined with nature because on a cellular level we are nature too, right? In comparison to Western. So
Excuse
the
me.
reason we find ourselves so lost a lot of the time is because we think spirituality is just belief. No, it's knowing. Why? Because these people understand that when I put A and B together, this is what happens. They understand to the T. You know what I'm saying? So it's the
Mm.
level we must knock on when it comes to understanding ourselves. But before we digress too much, Gyopuleng has another interesting question. She's wanting to talk about portion control. How important is portion controls when eating better? To eat more veggies doesn't equate to excessive amounts, right? How do you portion well, or can we never overdo veggie consumption? Nqobile.
Personally, I don't think you can overdo veggie consumption, but obviously, too much of a good thing is never good for the body. But portion sizes, I mean, I think portion sizes are important if you're trying to get to a certain goal. Like if you are trying to lose weight, it is obviously important, but that's, you have to pair it with physical exercise. Um, but I always say with the portion control is have as much color as you can on your plate, you know, which also helps you. So if you're eating too much starch, that's not good for you, you know. So to have the rice, have the chutney, have the butternut, have the spinach. That's like what, three, four colors you have on your plate, on your plate.
I see. Balance. Balance.
Balance.
That's that's the energy for today. Balance, guys. Balance things out. Find balance and then everything will be good. Okay, Nqobile, I want us to switch gears a bit. I want you to talk a bit about the vision behind Brown Girl Health and yeah, just educate the audience because Kiyosibu says she will check out your Instagram page for inspiration. So yeah, I mean, you and I have a common thread in that we are building online communities. So yeah,
Yeah.
share with the community what Brown Girl Health is about and what the vision behind Brown Girl Health is.
I say brown girl health. When people ask me, it's about democratizing health, um, and it's to show people that being able to eat healthy is possible. Because I feel like what's pushed into our faces is such an unhealthy like diet. There's like a lot of takeaway foods, takeaway stores that are near you. Like very unhealthy foods seems to be becoming more cheaper, and that's what people are just seeing. So, and I also, the idea behind Brown Girl Health was I wanted to see people like me when I went to go search on Instagram, and there weren't a lot of people who looked like me who were doing this thing. I wanted to relate to someone who looked like me, who was the same skin color as me. And so I said, I want to be that person that someone who's deciding to go plant based or is thinking of going plant based, when they search on Instagram plant based recipes, they come onto my page and see, hey, it's someone like it's simple recipes, like it's really simple, affordable recipes that will keep you healthy and achieve the goal that you want to achieve, which is making your body and yourself feel good.
I see. I like that. I like that. I like that a lot. I get that a lot from the training side of things where people people like to connect with people that look like them because social media can be difficult to navigate as a black person, especially if you're trying to find things that are unique to us. And well, let me not say necessarily unique to us, but things that we are slowly entering, which is like the health and fitness space, eating healthy, all
Mm,
these things. So not many people are documenting and sharing the knowledge. And
mm,
I commend you for doing that because you're doing an important job because content is what's gonna liberate the people. If the people see where content is going and how us telling our own stories
yeah.
through podcasts like this, through Instagram content, through in whatever field or whatever space is going to be such a big thing for us going forward because do you understand that we're probably the first generation that's going to have majority of their life documented by the time we get to our
Other
40s,
thing.
50s, 60s? Do you understand that? So
Yeah.
the kids will be able to watch us and watch our lives and see how mom and dad or malume did it and yeah, relatable stories, and they can't now
Mm,
fake the history just like they did in the books. The history has been faked. We don't understand ourselves well enough because there was no documentation such that we can look back and reflect handle to see okay bontatemogolo ba tswa mo, ba etsa so connecting all those dots. We are documenting, so I commend you for that. I
yeah.
really commend you for that. Don't stop sharing. Yeah, don't stop sharing. Hopefully we can collaborate more, you and I and the community at 21, because as you can
Yeah.
see, the community wants to learn how to eat well from a black perspective, right? Not the
A
quinoa.
reachable
We've,
perspective.
hey, not the quinoa. Arbatli the
Yeah.
quinoa.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
arabat le
it's all
quinoa.
about making everything like everything reachable
Why one?
for
Israel.
everyone. Like everyone and every point of society can, I think, can reach brown girl and be able to look at those recipes and have it in their fridge even.
I
It's
see.
not hectic things, like red beans and quinoa.
Also the
Yeah, why one?
taste, guys. Like we actually
The
love
taste is
taste.
very important. Yes.
Yeah, we want nice food. Body quinoa.
Food.
They don't make
It's
sense
not
in our
about
mouths. They don't make sense.
that's not
I
an
wanna
yeah. It's because
I want a healthy meal that is tasteful. Like I wanna go back to it. I wanna eat it again. Like I don't wanna eat something and be like, yo, like he can say mo. What was I doing? You know? I
Yeah,
wanna be like, oh my gosh, this is so nice. And like literally
yeah.
enjoy the meal. Yeah. Yeah.
I see. I
Because
see.
if you don't like
Uh,
it, don't eat it. That's one of the things I always say. Also, it's like if it tastes bad and you are not enjoying it, stop eating it. It's like because you're gonna think about eating healthy all the time and think about, oh, it's so miserable. But like if you don't like it, just don't eat it. Period.
yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
We've
Exactly.
got about 9 minutes to go. I wanted us to dive into the grains. I wanted us to talk a bit about the grains. I liked you going into that, and I would really love for us to, if you want to, work on that together. Well, I want to document video on that grains, right? She mentioned a nice point,
Great. Oh
Lebo,
yeah.
earlier. Yeah, Abuaka, how many grains we actually have that are native to the country. I've looked at that as well. Lebo, did you know that maize is actually from South America? It's an imported grain from South America. It's not native to Africa.
Mm.
I did not know that. Like I was
Yeah,
about to
And
claim it's like
rice.
maize is ours. No, I
and
It's not
honestly did
ours.
not know.
And now here's the problem, right? To top it off, they then in the milling process they mill the maize into mabele. No, not mabele, iwisa. Okay, and they to give it a refined look, they run it through bleach or whatever it is that decolors it,
Yep.
right? And it basically in the decoloring process strips the maize of all its nutritional value. So then the legal
Nothing
industry
left.
or the food industry says you guys are feeding people food with no nutritional value. So they then say okay, fortify. So fortification is basically inserting artificial nutritional value into the food, right? So they artificially embed all these vitamins and into the maize. So first and foremost, we are not supposed to be eating pap. For the mere fact that the principles under which they operate are
It's
purely based on the financial side. It's not about our health. It's not
capitalism.
about hey, Waiwan. And so Rona, some of the crops that are native to us, mabele, that's easily accessible, mabele. King
Mm.
Kong. That's a
And
classic.
when at Tabo, so Batswana,
Eh,
well, at least we know ting, ne,
eh,
ting ki mabele,
Mm,
eh,
like
mm.
they've been fermented or something like that. Tshwantse wa tlohele ka ra bolanyana. Like if you taste that thing, it tastes like apple cider vinegar. And
eh.
you'll be told how apple
Mm.
cider helps with weight loss, da da da. Da. And to think of it, hore, ting it's called it's part of traditional food. Like it
Exactly.
looks like our people, our elders knew hore, this is the way, this
Fermented,
is
yeah.
yeah, this is what we have to be eating. And then I guess hey, it just fell under the category of traditional food. We only eat it on the 24th of September. And then we go back to rice and kush, you
Eh,
know.
And it's the
okay.
language that destroyed a lot of these grains. Like to be
Eh,
like, if when you're not eating maize and you are eating like millets, like obviously you're like it's they say people say that's animal feed. Like ukudla like kwenkomo lokho. Why are you
Yeah.
eating like millets?
mm.
It's the language that has been cultivated and has made them very much forgettable.
Ke wayidla millet.
Oh,
Ke wayidla millet Nqobile.
Mm. It's
It,
it's it's more of a grain like upper Saharan Africa. It's like maize. It's like they natural. It's like natural maize that grows in
uh-huh.
Africa. Like so, like if you cook it, you can make it like maize. You can make pap. You can make porridge. You can make all the things that you make it pap, but it's a natural grain of Africa.
Okay.
nice.
I see. Netef ke wayidla.
Tiff, I only tried once. I put it into a banana cake because I just wanted to try it. But I think that needs people who have grown up with it because it's such a really, really small grain, like a fine one. And it's so interesting. All these African grains are actually gluten free, which the gluten free nation took over. But they have so much more nutrition than maize, rice, like much more. Teff is eaten in Ethiopia as injera, like that pancake thing
Yeah,
that they
yeah,
put all the toppings on. They
yeah.
also make beer with it. They also make bread with it. So that's big on also that side of Africa.
I see. I see. Okay. No,
And
I think
sorghum is
this is
ours.
a yeah, sorghum. Sorghum is it's native to us here in Southern Africa. Okay, cool.
You can make popcorn out of it.
I've seen that actually, like by Poppy level sorghum. I've seen that. That's pretty dope actually. So we have everything we need actually. We just need to look back and see what were the ancestors doing? How were they eating?
Mm,
Yeah, and adopt from their lifestyle. Okay, cool guys. Yeah, we've been chilling for a while now. Yeah, I'm gonna set y'all free so that y'all can now enjoy the rest of your evening with your family or with your friends wherever you are. I appreciate you guys coming through to spend some time, Lena, so we can chat. Yeah, the conversation can go on for hours. But I really appreciate the insight that you were sharing, Nqobile. And Luana, I really appreciate. Ke lebohile. My bad. I really
Yes, don't
appreciate.
get it wrong.
I really
she
appreciate
said
you
this
coming
at the
through as
beginning.
well. Hey, I really
Exactly.
appreciate you coming back and joining us as well, so we can have a chat and yeah, taking parts very important. I hope that you learned something that you can take away to implement in your space when it comes to your diet and nutrition. I think
Mhm.
really what you're dealing with is more centered around you and your discipline when it comes to your eating habits, because you do have the
Exactly.
ability to execute. Just like you said, you did go meat free and then you relapsed, but
Yeah.
you've learned today what balance is when you do
Balance
have,
is
it's okay.
important.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
don't
balance
feel
is
bad
key.
because you relapse it.
Yeah.
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 And then to everyone that's tuning in, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for engaging. Thank you for leaving comments. Thank you for making the conversation interesting. I really appreciate everyone coming through tonight.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Tabo.
Uh-huh.
I just reminded of one lady who asked a question like, how do you have a more protein meal without eating
Mm.
meat, something like that. And I
Okay.
think at that moment, I wanted to say that, there are other kinds of food, vegetables that have a lot of protein, like lentils, those kinds. And you can always have that meal instead of eating meat. So, and yes, I'm saying that to myself too. I eat meat a lot. So I am saying that to myself as well. Yeah,
Okay.
so that's it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think we will unpack protein, plant-based protein sources. We'll unpack them soon in some form of content piece to educate people on what they can replace meat with if they want to
Mm,
go meat free. Okay, cool,
mm.
ladies. You all must have a good night. Let me end the broadcast first, then we can talk behind studio, and then